Thank you for visiting our channel. Please like, share and subscribe for more exciting food videos. The ultimate guide to barbecue ribs, pork versus beef, slow-cooked perfection. There's nothing quite like the smoky, tender goodness of barbecue ribs. Whether you're a fan of pork ribs or beef ribs, the combination of slow cooking and tangy barbecue sauce creates a flavor that's hard to beat. Each option has its own unique taste and texture, making it tough to pick a favorite. This video breaks it all down, helping you choose the perfect ribs for your next cookout. Understanding barbecue ribs. Barbecue ribs are a staple of smoky, savory cooking, loved for their tender texture and bold flavors. Choosing between pork and beef ribs can feel like a challenge, especially with so many cuts available. Let's break it down to help you know your ribs better. Types of ribs. When it comes to barbecue ribs, you're usually working with pork ribs or beef ribs, each with its own set of popular cuts. Pork ribs, baby back ribs, cut from the upper section of the ribcage near the spine. Baby back ribs are smaller, leaner, and curve more than other cuts. Spare ribs, these come from the lower portion of the ribcage, closer to the belly, offering a longer, flatter shape with more fat for flavor. Beef ribs, back ribs, taken from the area near the cow's spine. Beef back ribs tend to have less meat but lots of connective tissue, making them ideal for slow cooking. Short ribs, cut from the lower portion of the ribcage. Short ribs are meaty and rich, with a hearty flavor that stands out even in heavy sauces. Cut characteristics. Each type of rib has distinct traits that make them unique. Here's what you can expect when choosing between pork and beef ribs. Baby back ribs lean and tender with a slight natural sweetness. Perfect for quick meals or when you want mild flavors. Spare ribs meatier and fattier than baby back ribs, providing a bold taste. Great for long cooking times as the fat renders into the meat. Beef back ribs less meat but packed with a deep beef flavor. Ideal if you're after a chewy, smoky bite. Short ribs incredibly rich and full of flavor. Best suited for slow, low temperature cooking to unlock their tenderness. Cooking methods. The way you cook ribs plays a huge role in the final result. Here are the most common techniques you'll find in barbecue, smoking, the holy grail of barbecue cooking. Smoking ribs at a low temperature for several hours adds a deep, smoky flavor while making the meat fall off the bone tender. Grilling ribs over a charcoal or gas flame gives them a nice char. While faster than smoking, it's best to pre-cook the ribs to ensure tenderness. Braising, a great option for beef ribs. By cooking ribs slowly in liquid, you can lock in moisture while breaking down tough fibers into a melt-in-your-mouth texture. Oven baking, while less traditional, baking ribs in foil at low heat mimics the slow cooking process. It's convenient and delivers consistent results for beginners. Sous vide, for precise cooking, sous vide ribs can't be beaten. This method ensures they're perfectly done before finishing them with a char on the grill or broiler. Each method offers its own perks, but the key is patience. Ribs aren't meant to be rushed. Want the best results? Give them the time they need to cook low and slow. Preparation of barbecue ribs. Getting your ribs ready for cooking is just as important as the cooking process itself. Proper preparation will ensure that your ribs are flavorful and tender. Here's how to make sure you start with the best. Choosing the right ribs. When shopping for ribs, quality matters. Here are some tips to help you select the best cuts. Freshness. Look for ribs with a nice pink color. Avoid any that appear gray or have an off smell. Fat content. A good layer of fat will add flavor and moisture during cooking. Look for ribs with marbling. Bone to meat ratio. Choose ribs with a good amount of meat on the bone. More meat means more flavor. Sauce. If possible, buy from a reputable butcher. They can guide you to the freshest options. Trimming and cleaning ribs. Once you have your ribs, it's time to prepare them for cooking. Trimming and cleaning are vital steps. Remove the membrane. This thin layer of connective tissue can toughen the ribs. Use a knife to gently lift it from one end and pull it off with a paper towel. This provides better flavor absorption. Trim excess fat. While a little fat adds flavor, too much can lead to greasy ribs. Trim away any large, hard pieces without removing all the fat. Rinse and pat dry. Rinse the ribs under cold water to remove any bone fragments or debris. Then, pat them dry with paper towels to help seasoning stick. Marinating and dry rubs. Marinating or using a dry rub is key for infusing flavor into your ribs. Here's how to do it right. Marinating. A good marinade can tenderize the meat. Use a mixture of acidic ingredients, like vinegar or citrus juice, along with spices. Let the ribs soak for at least 2 hours, or overnight for deeper flavor. Dry rubs. If you prefer dry rubs, combine spices to create your own blend. Popular choices include brown sugar for sweetness and caramelization, paprika for smokiness, garlic powder and onion powder for savory depth, salt and black pepper to enhance other flavors. Apply your rub generously and let the ribs rest for an hour or more before cooking. This gives the spices time to penetrate the meat, ensuring every bite bursts with flavor. By taking time to choose, trim, and season your ribs, you set the stage for a delicious barbecue experience. Enjoy the prep. It's where the flavor begins. Slow cooking techniques. When it comes to barbecue ribs, the method you choose can significantly impact flavor and tenderness. Slow cooking is essential for perfecting that melt-in-your-mouth texture. Let's take a closer look at some popular slow cooking techniques. Using a smoker. Using a smoker is a classic approach for cooking ribs. It's all about that low and slow method, which gives ribs their signature flavor. Here's how to get started. Select your wood. Different types of wood affect the taste. Hickory adds a strong, smoky flavor, while fruit woods like apple or cherry provide a milder, sweet essence. Experimenting with blends can yield unique results. Temperature control. Aim to keep your smoker between 225 degrees Fahrenheit and 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Low temperatures allow the ribs to cook through without drying out. Use a meat thermometer to ensure accuracy. Smoke time. Typically, ribs will need about 4 to 6 hours in the smoker. Wrap the ribs in foil after a few hours to retain moisture and enhance tenderness. This method is often called the Texas crutch. Getting the right combination of wood and temperature creates that delicious smoky goodness. Grilling versus baking. Many people debate whether grilling or baking is the better method for cooking ribs. Both techniques offer distinct flavors and textures. Grilling. Cooking ribs on a grill provides a nice char that enhances flavor. The direct heat creates a crispy outer layer but requires more attention. For the best results, consider finishing ribs on the grill after cooking them low and slow, either in the oven or smoker. Baking. On the other hand, baking ribs in the oven gives you even cooking. It's a hands-off approach. Wrapped in foil, ribs can cook at a lower temperature for a longer time, leading to exceptionally tender results. Baking allows covered ribs to steam, keeping them moist while they cook. Choosing between grilling and baking often comes down to personal preference. Want a smoky flavor with a bit of char? Go for grilling. Looking for easy, tender results? Baking is your friend. That wraps up part 1. I hope you're as excited as we are about ribs. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive into even more tips and tricks to perfect your barbecue rib game. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.